In the start of this chapter, we see Sungyun thinking that it's obvious that's where the Dark Monarch is. System tell him that the special authority, Dark Barrier, reduces all damage to the fortress by 68%. Sungyun doesn't care because that is useless against him. He destroys the barrier and enters the castle using his skill, Burrowing Heavens. We see a Dark Monarch sitting on his throne. Sungyun asks him to rest easy because Sungyun is just a law-abiding challenger on his way. Dark Monarch gets up saying that he knew the tower had challengers in the city for the first time in dozens of years, but this is more severe than he thought. Dark Monarch asks Sungyun to hand over his items if he doesn't want to shed any blood. Sungyun is still calm and tells him that he doesn't know what makes a demon like him so confident to ask Sungyun pay him. Dark Monarch asks him to just give one item. Dark Monarch tells him that even the challengers from dozens of years ago didn't dare to act so high and mighty. He asks Sungyun about what he thinks about the proud demons. Sungyun says proud demons and suddenly appears in front of him and hits him in the face. Dark Monarch is down with just one punch. Sungyun tells him that demons don't have emotions such as pride. Sungyun is sitting on the throne while the Dark Monarch is kneeling in front of him. Sungyun says, "So what's sustaining this castle are the items you stole from challengers. What a waste of resources." Dark Monarch tells him that the items are not the waste of resources. Without them, the castle will crumble. Sungyun is annoyed because the Dark Monarch talks too much. He asks the Dark Monarch to give up everything. After that, System says, "You have obtained the maze achievement, Plunder a City, unique. You have obtained 15 maze points. Skill, Plunder C+, activated." Dark Monarch is crying because his castle is destroyed. Sungyun tells him to stop crying because this castle was nothing. Dark Monarch kneels down and tells him that he has already given him all the items. He can give his life too if Sungyun doesn't destroy the city. Sungyun agrees and says, "I'm still human, so at least I can listen to that." Sungyun thinks the bit I destroyed before coming to the castle should be okay. Dark Monarch is thinking that the Sungyun is worse than a demon. Sungyun points at something and asks the Dark Monarch about that thing. Dark Monarch tells him that that's the sanctuary that goes down to the basement. It's an altar to do our rites to the demon god. Sungyun asks him if there is anything else. Dark Monarch tells him that there are relics there, but only monsters can open that door. Sungyun activates the skill Remove Human. With this, he can become a being of a species that is not human. He opens the door and thinks, "I got this skill on the 4th floor. I was going to grind it up because I thought it was useless, but to think I'd use it here." System tells him, "You have obtained the maze achievement, Open the Sanctuary, Legend. You have obtained 100 maze points. Your total HP and MP have increased by 40. Dark Monarch is shocked after seeing Sungyun open the door that only monsters can open so easily. Dark Monarch asks Sungyun if he is a demon. Sungyun asks him to not talk too much and just guide him if he doesn't want to die. Sungyun asks him about the purpose of this place. Dark Monarch replies, "It is a place where you sacrifice tributes to the demon god, receive relics, and pour divinity into monsters." Sungyun asks him if there is no price for infusing divinity into monsters or demons. Dark Monarch tells him, to a certain extent. It just gives less to the weak and more to the strong. All monsters can receive divinity within that spring water. Sungyun can't believe this because this is too simple. Dark Monarch is shocked after seeing that Sungyun is entering the spring water. Sungyun tells him to not worry because when he's done with this, he'll take all the relics. System says, "You have entered the special region, Demonic Spring. Demons or monsters receive divinity based on their combined fighting power." Sungyun is inside the spring water and thinks, "Thanks to the skill Remove Human, I'm not considered a human right now." System says, "Authority, Divine Power, A- has increased by 1 rank. Authority, Divine Power, it can now be combined with a myth and be strengthened." System suddenly changes its tone and says, "A young'un who just began establishing his divinity doesn't know his palace and is full of greed. I'm surprised you have more than 3 divinities. And the fact that you came here with a human body is amusing." Someone appears there and says, "I understand why so many gods have their eyes on you. You must be a talent whom the tower favors." First, Sungyun was about to ask her identity, but then changed the question and asked her, "What do you mean, a talent the tower favors?" She asks him, Do you know why the tower gave you divine power and expects you to become one? The tower wants an almighty transcender it can use for its goals like a puppet. But there are no omnipotent transcenders within the dimension that exist in this universe. Sungyun asks her, does that mean that the gods that have been discharged from the tower until now aren't omnipotent? She smiles and replies, although they are stronger than the tower or ancient deities, they aren't omnipotent transcenders. Sungyun is shocked after hearing that and thinks, what? The tower isn't transcendent, but it has the power to make a transcender. She says, I've told you all I can tell you. So about it yourself? Or do you want to know more? There are no rewards without a price. I'll introduce myself. I am the demon god. Challenger Sungyun. I request an alliance with you. This alliance only has one purpose: to ruin the competition of the gods within this giant tree maze. As payment, I'll give you the reward that is given to the god who wins the competition. Sungyun and the Dark Monarch are going outside. Dark Monarch asks him, how much of the demon god's divinity did you take? He replies, don't mind it, and guides me to the location that connects to the 6th floor. Dark Monarch asks him if he is not going to kill me. Sungyun looks at him and thinks, it's time. Sungyun tells him that he has an alliance with the Dark Monarch's god. So from now on, even if Sungyun wants to, he can't kill demons. Dark Monarch says that the demon god seal. He understands God's will. System says, you have obtained the right to go down to the giant tree maze's 6th floor, so rewards will be given. Select any of 2 items, authorities, or skills, and he can recover 2 abilities. He unsealed 2 skills, Counter Shield and Serene Mind. Sungyun's companion arrives there. Catherine says, just how much did you bully the demons for them to bow down like this? Sungyun tells her that he never bullied them. Catherine asks him about what he was doing until now. She tells him that they want to help too. Sungyun replies, I'm sorry. I'm not confident I can protect you all, so I did what I did. She says, no, you shouldn't be sorry, just understand that we're worried for you. Sungyun says to her that he'll keep that in mind while moving forward. Anyway, since we've cleared the 5th floor, let's get what we need from the maze store and go down. Maze owner welcomes them. System says, you have entered the giant tree maze's 6th floor, the cradle of verification. This is a special location that the god of verification controls. This is a place where all challengers from the Earth dimension to the Murim dimension of the giant maze tree gather. Work together to defeat the clone challenger and descend floors. One challenger assumes that this is too easy because he just have to face that thing. System says, however, if your contribution to defeating clone challenger is less than 10%, you will be removed from the maze. Earth Dimension Challenger. Sungyun clone is the Earth Dimension Challenger. System gives warning because the level of the clone challenger is much higher, that's why it does not suit the floor's level. This is the end. Subscribe for the next part.